Well, it's an exciting book, although we left off at a particularly devastating juncture. We didn't leave in the midst of energy. We left in the midst of despair.
I almost feel like I'm waking up from having been knocked out. You know what I mean? Like I'm feeling just a little woozy,
Your vision's coming into focus, and you see a bunch of kids standing over you.
And you hear Goofy singing an Evanescence song from the year 2005.
Wake me up!
Wake me up!
In 1996, Scholastic began publishing Animorphs. Over the next 6 years, Katherine Applegate and her husband, Michael Grant, under the pseudonym K.A. Applegate, produced 54 main series books, several spin-offs, and inspired a TV series, graphic novels, and a cult following. We can't tell you where we live. We can't even tell you our last names. But we can tell you our thoughts and feelings on this series, book by book. I'm Miranda.
I'm Eddie.
And I'm Chris.
And we are... the Anidorks!
These may be kids' books, but we discuss dark themes and mature content. There may also be some explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
David thought he woke up several times, and he was like, "Who are these fucking weird kids? I'm gonna go back to sleep." And then he kept
tapping Tobias on the head, thinking it was the snooze alarm.
Yeah, just like
good night.
Because he's going seared, and he's like later.
Oh, that would be a good alarm.
Later. No,
we could offer that. I would record it, and then our Patreon subscribers can have
recorded it 8 times over.
Sear.
I know people put out sound packs where it's like you can use them as notifications and different things, and it's like ours, but it's all just different. Sear! That's the only thing we do.
Do you think, okay, so in an alternate timeline, the Animorphs get the 3 of us as 3 new Animorphs. Do you think they're better or worse off than having David?
Us as adults or us as adults? Kids their age? Ooh.
Me as a grown-ass person would have solved so many of the problems they seem to really be struggling with.
I like to think that, but I don't know. It feels like I would, but maybe I'd just hold them back because they wouldn't want to listen to me because I'm a grown-up.
No, the problematic part would be when you re-enroll in middle school. That would be the confusing part. But I think there's so many advantages to just being a fully formed adult.
No, we would get jobs as teachers at the school for some reason. That's
I would have to go get the certification. I'd be asking them for help on my math homework.
I think I'd be an undercover cafeteria person. I think that's what I would do.
You would have been in the scene where Marco was asking for that.
Oh, you're the one calling him Little Marco and dishing out his food.
And then I'm also asking for his autograph for some reason.
He's like, "I'm gonna see you in 2 hours." Like, what the fuck are you doing? I was just gonna say, Chris, it would be interesting for you being Yeerked to be an Animorph.
Well, also, I think we're saying that you would probably compromise. The Animorphs would be over because you would.
No, clearly we've turned to Yeerk.
No,
my
Yeerk is working. Yeah.
You're in the resistance.
Yeah. My Yeerk is chill.
Yeah.
My Yeerk is chill.
Okay.
They just they just do my work for me.
Yeah, they're like, as long as you take me to the Kandrona every 3 days, I don't have to tell anybody what's going on.
I would, just like Jake, put the drawer out for Tobias.
Jake, Eddie's memoir.
I would love to have Jake. Chris, I would have the cutest little Yeerk pool that just for you. It's just like the size of like a saucer, and then you could swim around in it, and it would be so fun. Yeah.
Well, you think that I'm the Yeerk?
No, so that your Yeerk could swim in that pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my Yeerk is a totally different name.
For some reason, I'm imagining, though, when your Yeerk leaves you, you just kind of go inert like a puppet with the strings cut. And then you
ragdoll.
Yeah,
it's like Gmod.
Yeah.
You ragdoll or you T-pose. Those are the two default settings.
When the Yeerk goes back in, I T-pose. Right, exactly. Shall we get to it, y'all?
Yeah!
Shall we start moving through this book? Let's do it.
If you can believe it, we're at chapter 18. with David.
We've all had a couple Chapter 18s in our lives.
With Chapter David waking up.
And I think
Chapter David.
We're just propelled towards, like, I think the ending of this book's going to give us a lot of answers, a lot of things. Doors are going to be closed.
It's going to feel very conclusive.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, here we go.
All right.
Chapter 18. The gang regroups in Cassie's barn with new best friend David. His parents have been abducted by the Yeerks. His pet snake is being tortured by Visser 3, and worst of all, his bedroom is a big mess. Jake knows just what David needs. Context. Jake starts explaining that the planet is being invaded by parasitic slugs known as the Yeerks. You might think that'd be enough for day one, but Jake jumps right to the whole Hork-Bajir backstory before Cassie backpedals a bit, introducing David to a key bit of vocabulary, the term controller.
Marco's like, great idea, Cassie. That term will be really helpful for David, given that, well, his parents are becoming controllers at this very moment. David is stumped by this. A few hours ago, he was walking home with his backpack and lunchbox to sell a blue cube to a stranger off the internet. Marco sees David's stupefied state and decides that the only way through shock is even more information. Explaining everything was going to be hard. I walked over and stood right in front of David. Listen to me. By now, your parents have been taken to a secret underground facility called a Yeerk pool. It's not a nice place. Picture a sludgy cesspool of a pond the color of molten lead. There are 2 steel piers leading out over the pond. Hork-Bajir warriors will drag your parents out to the end of one of those piers.
Cassie interrupts Marco, disturbed by his approach. But Marco continues. They will drag them out to the end of that pier and they will kick their legs out from under them and force their heads down into the sludge. And while they are kicking and screaming and calling for help, a Yeerk slug will swim over and it will squeeze into one ear. And it will flatten itself out and squeeze and burrow and dig its way into their skulls where it will spread around and into their brains. And the Hork-Bajir will yank them up out of the sludge and they will start to feel that they cannot control their own arms or legs, cannot open their mouths or move their own eyes. The Yeerk will open their memories like a person opening a book. They will be slaves. The most total slaves in all of history because even their own minds won't be theirs anymore. Are you getting the picture?
David begins to cry. Marco realizes that feels good to him. He also realizes that he is panting by the end of the monologue. He tells David that he is not alone and that he most assuredly got the part. His mother is a controller too. Jake says that David needs to know this isn't a game. His old life is gone. If David even goes back to school, he'll be yerked right out of the classroom, just like his parents. David says that this isn't right. It must be a trick. Jake instructs Axe to do a trick to demorph to his Andalite form. When David panics and tries to flee, Rachel forces him to watch, like that scene in A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
The 9th! Not the 9th! Marco notes that David is shaking. It's not fair what's happening to David. Marco thinks, but it wasn't fair when it happened to the Animorphs either, of which he is one. There is one perk to all of this, Cassie tells David. You can morph into any animal you want, but you can never stay in morph for longer than 2 hours. David asks why. David, my man, Marco says, meet Tobias, who... Why would
he flies up right then?
Yeah, and he's trapped in morph. So, you know, it's a scared straight Animorphs.
But it's also like, hey, you can be a bird.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Cute little bird friend.
You can morph a plane. You can morph Superman.
Yeah. Jake morphs into a tank. So
anything you touch.
Mm-hmm.
I like to imagine that, like, because it starts with Jake just being like, they're called Yeerks. And I like to imagine that David's just been screaming for the first, 20 minutes he's tried to tell him this information. And Jake's just like, hey, shut up. Hey, we're trying to help you. Shut up.
And this whole time, think about who's not speaking. We have Marco giving the thing, Cassie trying to stop him, Jake chiming in occasionally. But Rachel, on the edge of the conversation, talk about the Yeerks of being a wallflower.
Very nice, very nice. Although, it does say that she looks like she's regretting her choice at one point. She's starting to... She's holding it back. I think that's why she can't figure out what to say, because she's like, oh, shit, maybe I shouldn't have voted to make this kid an Animorph, because this seems pretty fucked up, actually.
I think Marco's projecting.
But is it fair?
Yeah.
I feel like David's reaction is actually... Like, I know that we get some bad signs about how David's going to be as an Animorph, but I feel like his reaction to all of this is
as a morph daddy. Should we start calling the Animorphs morph daddies?
No, I don't think so. Don't we think that David is actually having a more normal response to this news than maybe the kids did? I feel like this is sort of why in an earlier episode... I don't know,
back when the kids became morph daddies, they really weren't hardened to this kind of thing either,
It's true. They got introduced to it faster and slower, right? Because, like, Elfangor told them everything that was happening, and then they witnessed it. Mm-hmm. And David's doing that in reverse, where he saw everything and is now having to be told an explanation and just trust that what they're saying makes sense. Whereas they were like... Elfangor's saying some ridiculous things, but then it all happened in front of them.
Yeah.
So, like, he's having to work backwards. So the Animorphs were coming into a battle that was already in progress with the Andalites and the Yeerks, but David is coming into a battle that's already in progress with the Animorphs and the Yeerks, with, like, this specific group of children, the human fight, the human resistance, and it's very small, and it's very bleak. And he doesn't know these people. He has no real reason to trust them. I still think Elfangor could probably pull some sort of like magic make you trust me through thought speak thing. Although I guess if that were true, Axe would have tried it by now, but maybe he just never learned. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, the one thing that keeps running through my head is like the Animorphs' god morph daddy was Elfangor.
Yeah.
And in this book, I think there's a strong argument to be made that even though Axe was in the room, maybe David got a bit of Visser 3 as his morph godfather. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it's like his first Andalite. Like, because they recreated the whole construction scene in the bedroom.
Yeah, they really kind of did. And he saw Axe and Visser 3, and Visser 3 was really the Andalite he got to know first. So for all he knows, Axe is just like that guy. Whereas these guys met a quote-unquote good Andalite first.
Yeah.
And Elfangor was, as we know, like, a good dude. Like, he saw problems with the way the Andalites were running things. He tried to leave, all that stuff. And so he was like the perfect inspiration for these guys to look up to.
Yep.
And David's got them. And they're great. I love them to bits. But it's probably confusing having a bunch of people say a bunch of different things all at once. And then suddenly one of them becomes an Andalite. And you're like, that looks like the guy who was beating me up. But also the guy who was beating up the other guys. But also, I don't feel sure on who's who anymore.
Yeah. And like, the kids also got in that construction site, the real morph daddy, Elfangor. And, when he speaks, you listen. And he doesn't have... Visser 3 does have one thing on Elfangor, though. He has those torn jean shorts, remember?
Sure, but he's not my morph daddy.
No?
He's not my morph daddy. Visser 3?
Alarin? Before he was your...
not my morph...
No, not War Daddy Alarin, no.
Oh my god. Oh, he's War Daddy. That's true.
Yeah.
War Daddy. Daddy Warbucks.
If we're really, really honest, the true...
I'm sorry.
I'm very happy about how happy that made me.
I just pictured it for a second. Little orphan Annie next to an Andalite. Little orphan Andalite.
I do think the true morph daddy is probably
Little
the
orphan
Elemist.
Elfie. There we go.
That's Wicked. That's a different show. Oh, the true morph daddy, obviously the Elemist. He was able to give Tobias his morphing powers back, powers that we know to be Andalite technology. He was able to just do that.
Yeah.
I don't fucking buy it,
But he
dude.
himself does not morph, as we've seen. His power is slideshow. He doesn't...
That's true, which, but he does do a lot of dissolve effects.
That's
which
true.
is
yes.
kind of like morphing.
I have a question. Okay, when we imagine this Yeerk pool, because we get it described here, which I think also...
Oh, I'm so sorry. We're out of time, Eddie.
Oh,
we actually have to get on to the next chapter.
Do you think we could have more than 2 what do they call them? Like almost like the diving boards, the steel piers that lead out. Oh yeah,
why just two?
Oh my gosh, you're like a little like.
It's not efficient, right?
Wait, but they should
do we
be
think we could have
four?
four?
Yeah,
we could have four.
It's a circle.
Definitely.
Yeah, it would be easy to have four, at least.
Yeah. And I just think, like, maybe we shouldn't be joining the Animorphs. We should be joining the Yeerks, because I think we could be making these systems more efficient. We would get handrails installed on those stairs. There's a lot of changes.
Yeah, no, I really think that our logistical engineering and not but like our building planning skills could really come into play here.
You know when they're putting the erasers on pencils and they have to have them all in a little row and like blah, blah, blah? We could get one of those, but on the human scale. And like all the to-be Yeerks will roll down the slide.
And the conveyor belt of humans.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
that can't be unethical or disturbing.
That's basically what they did with the sharks, isn't it? Visser 1 has come up with this idea.
That is exactly what they did with the sharks. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and yet they're not wearing helmets yet. These would be the three things we'd introduce. They'd say, okay, give us 3 reasons why we shouldn't Yeerk you and should just have you leading the team, and
we all know
helmets.
Oh my God!
Helmets for when the birds attack.
They missed a huge opportunity to win Jeremy Jason McCole over to their side and get him to start an ear flap hat trend.
There you go. But you guys do know that the end of the series is the Apple iPod comes out and the earbuds like block Yeerks, and then consumerism and capitalism win, right?
When did the iPod come out? I don't think.
I don't remember. 2000. It's earlier than you might think. 2001.
Jesus, yeah, it was out.
Yeah.
What do you know? Crazy world we live in.
Not quite yet. We still have like 2 years, I think, a little under 2 years.
But by the end of the series. Though.
Like, that's how the Yeerks lose, is they didn't predict Steve Jobs' quote-unquote genius.
I, for one, can't wait for the Animorphs to do 9/11. Shall we go on to Chapter 19?
Oh, yes, let's do it. Chapter 9/11. Let's go.
Marco invites David over for an adorable little sleepover. He even takes the shitty air mattress so that his very promising, totally unproblematic new bestie can sleep in his bed. When the air mattress deflates at 2 in the a.m., though, he catches David sneaking out of the bedroom to make a call on the landline. Marco tells David that if he's going to call his parents, at least do it from a payphone. He brings David to the payphone in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven.
The Animorphs did 7-Eleven.
They did. Marco goes inside, orders himself a tall boy for a short king, Jumbo Slurpee special.
Dude, this is amazing. You were reading my mind, Eddie. Like I made this joke and then deleted it from my notes, and here it is in front of me. That's incredible.
And then returns to David, ice-cold bevy in hand.
Marco tells David that he can call his parents, but he can't mention who he's with or where he is. Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. Your mom and dad will sound totally normal. They'll tell you to come home. If you refuse, they'll ask where you are. Ask them what happened today at the house. Just that. David calls his parents. His dad answers.
I'm not okay. I'm not okay. David tells his dad, I'm scared. David asked his dad what happened earlier, just as Marco instructed him, and his eyes dull with fear as his dad answers. There was no alien attack, David's father says. That was just a big trick played on David's family by the guys at my dad work.
When David starts to question this, Marco ends the call and pulls David away into the shadows. He tells David to watch as 2 Jeeps pull up to the 7-Eleven. David's parents exit the Jeeps, handing out photos of their son. If we don't find that kid, David's father says, Visser 3 will make us wish we were dead. Just as the controllers are about to reach David and Marco, Rhino Jake strikes. It turns out that Jake and the others have been keeping watch this whole time. Gorilla Marco joins the fight until the controllers flee. He asks if David's seen enough yet. There's a lot of really good moments in this chapter. There's a moment in the payphone scene. Just watching, first of all, hats off for a one-sided telephone call. We all love a one-sided telephone call.
Mm-hmm.
But after Marco presses the button,
charmed, I'm sure.
After Marco kills the call by pressing the button in the on the receiver, after he pulls David away, he's he looked mad, and he says he looked eerie in the neon fluorescent glow of the 7-Eleven. And I really love this. It really highlights this image of sunken in eyes. I see the fear on his face and all the shadows highlighted.
Very noir.
while I know noir is something I was definitely thinking of, and then I thought of cyberpunk, and I was like, I know it's not 7-Eleven colors, but given that this is a Marco book, I am picturing bisexual lighting.
Yes, yes. I'm not looking at your notes right now. I'm just reading your wavelength.
It's just the vibes.
What are the 7-Eleven colors? Are they red and green?
It's green.
No, it's like orange and red and green.
Yeah, it's like an orangey
I don't
red.
think so. I think it's blue and purple.
The 7 is like an orangey red, and then there's the
it's
green.
Orange. I got it right, surprisingly. There's an orange and a red make up the 7, then green is the 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy because I have terrible color recall.
Did you know that's how, like, that used to be the longest a store was open? That's why they're called that.
7 in the morning to 11 in the morning? That's crazy.
I know, so short.
They called them the sinning hours. I love this chapter's swagger so much. Because I think we can all agree that this book, in terms of like the best laid plans of mice and Animorphs, like all of the plans have been dog shit in this book. And no scene has actually gone the way that they said it would. And like everything is coming apart at the seams. And like, but in this scene, Marco gets to just be like, and in 2 minutes, they'll be here. We gotta like go hide over,
He
like,
hangs up on the call for David.
Yes.
He goes, nope.
So badass.
Yeah.
Oh, keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was amplifying.
He knows exactly what he's doing. And even we underestimate how much control he has because it's the only chapter of this book, I think, where Marco's 4 steps ahead. So.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes, exactly.
I do love that David tries to like reason that actually his father would be able to trace this call and he would show up with his NSA buddies to look for him because that makes total sense. Like,
it doesn't make like everything about this book is about to get like so heightened from where we've been. Like when we get to the like, it won't be this episode, it'll be next episode. But when we get to the big shit of this book, like, oh my God, the stakes and scale are back in like. You remember, like, when we were doing the Megamorphs and just everything with the Valik and whatever, and it was just, like, everything was alien scale?
Yeah.
Like, we're heading there, I feel like. We're almost there. Yeah.
It's a very high-tension book, and it already was, but it ramps up because we're doing this with David. We haven't even talked about what was revealed by Eric the Chi. Back in book 1, we've been planning for this big conference of like a bunch of world leaders, and we're not even talking about that yet.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying about the stakes, but what I want to imagine is what did Marco and David do at their sleepover before they went to bed? Because I don't think we can get to where we're going
really,
until
really
we discuss.
Personal.
Oh no, I don't think Eddie's trying to be weird with it. I think it just means like.
Not.
What are people?
Pulls out 8 pages of fan fiction of age-appropriate interactions between David and Marco.
Do they play guitar? Do they play frisbee? Video games?
The first time you have someone for a sleepover, even at this age of like 12, 13, 14, like the first time someone sleeps over at your house, you really learn a lot about them, like their nighttime routine, how late they stay up, what type of TV they like to watch,
Letterman.
And the three of us should know because I believe
taped Letterman.
I was the first person to sleep over at the Baldy's house.
At the Baldy's house. That
Is that
might
true?
be.
And I woke up in the morning and I
true.
threw up in the toilet. I got sick. And,
yeah.
Thank you for making it to the toilet.
Yeah.
I made it to the toilet, yes.
Are you sure? Are you sure you were the first?
That's what I remember. I remember your mother said...
so that's your $2 bill that you spent at our house up on the wall.
Yes.
That's you.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember now. No, that rings a bell.
I was going to say something about like a kindergarten friend of mine, and then I was like, that would have been after though. Like that's like, because I'm younger.
Yeah, but I mean, if you used the time machine that day, then it could have been before.
True.
Like it's hard, because the time machine was that bench made of recycled materials next to the fire engine monkey bars or jungle gym.
Oh,
that was the time machine. Back
wow! I remember that bench.
You're right.
It's gone.
Yeah, that was the time machine. Because it had like a little
Where did
thing
it go?
cut out of it, and you could like put your fingers in it. It went back in time.
It went back in time. They built a kindergarten.
It's back in time because they've since knocked it down.
It's a single-use time machine.
Single-use time machine.
There is one I just want to call out. There's a good death line. I mean, I don't know if it's a death. You tell me. Rhino horn hit human flesh, and human flesh didn't do so well. The controller flew up over, cartwheeled once, and landed hard on the pavement. You tell me if that person survived. That's not up to me. I
just find it hard to believe that someone could like get up and do a cartwheel after getting hit by a rhino.
Do you think we should be getting... I'm really stuck on the sleepover. We're talking about rhinos killing humans, and I'm just wondering, should the kids be having more sleepovers? I feel like
they have had actually quite a few. They're just not like on camera.
Yeah, that's private.
Would be a weird,
you know?
Yeah, that's... Yeah,
should they have a sleepover in the barn?
I mean, that'd be a little weird with all the animals around.
Ax and Tobias stay in the barn sometimes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, show us that. I just think...
Okay, can somebody find this kid some, like, a cute drawing of everybody in their sleeping bags?
Well, you know what? You know, you're asking for more sleepovers, and I think, actually, we may get one. It's brief, but we do get a mention of one in Chapter 20.
I don't believe you, but there's only one way to find out.
Oh my God, thank God. I didn't realize it was that easy to get to fucking Chapter 20. Take it away.
The Animorphs move 5 out of 5 friendo David from Marco's house to Jake's house.
You're really hyping David, dude. You're really trying to make David happen.
I mean, I'm just picking up what the book's putting out, so... Not because David's a bad guest or anything. He's actually really wonderful, the most angelic child. Moms adore him and dads do too. No, David is just super wanted by the Yeerks, and the Animorphs love him way too much to let anyone abduct him. No, this intense level of protection has absolutely nothing to do with how much incriminating information David knows. Anyway, it's time for David to choose his first morph.
The Animorphs have brought David his first morph. A big bird of prey, a merlin. The merlin is in the cage with an even bigger... Is it a big bird of prey?
It's like small. It's like medium.
Small, agile.
They were like, they said that it'll be fast and agile.
Yeah. Gotcha, okay. Like a kestrel. The merlin is in its cage with an even bigger bird of prey, a golden eagle. They're in the same cage?
Yeah.
I think the cage has I think it's a two-part cage with like a divider.
Like a duplex. Yeah. Like a duplex. Okay.
Oh my God,
really
merlins
setting
are
the
so
scene.
cute. They're so cute.
Marco informs us that the merlin is about a quarter of the golden eagle's size and thus deserves a smaller cage. Tobias hates the golden eagle on sight.
It's true.
Darling David wants to be a golden eagle. However, not the merlin. Jake asks why. You could be both. And David says all he wants is power. After all, aren't we at war? Jake says that the ideal morph isn't always sheer power. David asks the group if Jake's a fucking idiot all the time and if he picked all their stupid morphs.
Here's an idea, Marco says. How about not being a jerk? He reminds David that he and the other Animorphs, they saved David. Believe it or not, they've been doing this for a while. David says that Marco isn't his father. He can't tell him what to do. Plus, the Animorphs only saved him because they wanted the blue box. They got what they wanted.
What's in the box?
But what does David have now? I don't know what I'd expected from David, Marco says. I couldn't be a hypocrite. I wasn't thrilled about being an Animorph at first either. I didn't care about saving the world then. I just cared about my dad not getting hurt anymore. And I guess I didn't really accept it all till I discovered my mother was a controller. That's when I knew we had to fight.
David says that he can tell the Animorphs don't like him. He's always the new kid, so he's very attuned to when people do and don't like him. Cassie says that David's wrong, but David pushes back. He knows that Marco doesn't like him, but it doesn't matter, David says, because he's here, and he's not going to let anyone push him around. Ax arrives. He confirms that they're bringing David into the Animorphs, and Jake hesitates for just a second before saying yes. Ax extends the cube to David, and just like that, there's a new Animorph. They each shake hands with David. Then David acquires his first morph, the Golden Eagle morph. Jake asks Cassie to get David a battle morph as well as a bug morph. He's going to need it. He already has his first mission coming up. I think things are going really well.
I mean, bird racism is continuing. It will only get stronger as the book goes on. I just want to go, I mean, like, this isn't exactly what was said, but basically, Tobias is going on his little golden eagle rant. He's like, they're like actually fucking evil. They kill things for like fun, I swear. They kill other birds and like even small deer. I saw one take down a doe. Its claws hit it like a bullet. And David immediately cuts in, I want to be the golden eagle.
He's like, actually, I was playing Quake 5 minutes before you guys came into my room. And I really want to.
He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Ruthless violence? Why would you let me be anything else? That's all I want. Like,
I feel like one of the most important things for the Animorphs here is that David has a morph that in some way they can control, and David is immediately challenging that, and they're just being too polite to be like, no, you're not going to have a fucking golden eagle morph. Like, they cave here because I think they want to show him... Cave. They want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I think the stakes are just way too high to give them the benefit of doubt. True. And they have no onboarding procedure because they've never had a morph cube until now.
Yeah.
Well, but they should have had a 5-minute conversation. Like, they're talking about they're about to bring him in and they're like, what do we do for a ritual? And someone's like, should we sing Bop? And I'm like, it's better than nothing, guys. Yeah, get singing 5, 6.
Something. Do a little choreo. It's not that fucking hard. A step touch here and there.
Have the outfit ready.
Glee
Run
right, glee left, back to back, arms crossed. It's perfect.
Right. It's a simple iron-on patch.
This is when you introduce the morph suits, or the morph costume, the morph outfit, Marco. Come on.
And I will say...
This was your moment.
I mean, I get that. I think their plan was always to have him morph the Merlin. And the way that they did this, like the only reason they're both there, ostensibly, is because they're releasing these birds. And so the way that they've gotten away with this is that Cassie has said to her dad, my friends are going to help me release these birds for the wildlife sanctuary. And that's why they were even allowed to do this. And she was probably like, we'll take the Merlin. And he was like, oh, the old road that is up closer to the Golden Eagle's territory is washed out. Could you take the Golden Eagle too? And she was like, sure, Dad.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Her dad knew full well that golden eagle would just immediately kill the smaller bird, like the Merlin. Or whatever.
Yeah, there's no real reason to, unless the only reason that would happen is if it's hungry.
At the same time, and it just immediately killed the other bird.
No, that's not what happened.
Because Cassie's dad is a sicko, just like David. And I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of them being sickos in these books.
There's a lot of sicko behavior in this book. I don't know that I think Cassie's dad is the one it's coming from most.
No,
that's
you're
just a personal...
Right. You don't have to yes and that.
Do you think that if they were really going for this, like, beginning of Pokemon moment, they should have had a third bird option?
Oh, yeah,
Named
for sure.
Gary?
Yes,
like a fire type.
Right, and the other new controller, so whoever they're yerking down at the base right now, he's going to come in and he's going to pick whatever has type advantage over what David picks.
I think Marco's pretty clearly the rival in this case. Marco and David are the rivals, and so I think Marco has to take whatever is left over.
Do you think that means that there was a scene where Marco brought David home and Marco's dad was like, David, nice to meet you, and this is my son. What was his name again?
Yes.
And David was like, his name is Asshat.
Yeah. That's what happened at the sleepover just a chapter before.
I know, that's what we could have had. That's what I'm seeing, I'm coming all over to your side. I'm seeing the vision.
Yeah.
Jokes aside, I will say that David's big speech is pretty wild and compelling and intense.
Even Marco admits that.
It does.
Yeah, and I feel like this is the beginning of a beautiful sequence of chapters where we're watching the Animorphs watch themselves. And that's like a really nice, beautiful thing, even though David is a total fuck-up delinquent and I want nothing to do with him.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I do see what you see, where they're all watching his reactions and.
My God, I'm just kidding, you guys.
No, I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you. I was agreeing. They're all seeing their own first morphs in this moment, and then going, so cool. Yeah, but he kind of sucks, though.
It is true. Marco does keep saying that.
Yeah, yeah, and I think clearly this trilogy is going to be about Marco being proven wrong, right? Like, surely David just is going to grow into...
We'll see.
I do have... actually, I'm going to hold this. I'm going to hold this until we're at the end of the book. I'll hold it till next episode. Yeah, I had a thought, but I'm going to hold on to it.
Okay. Cool.
Is it about the only thing that could be considered a ritual that they do in this book?
No. That I
in this
do
chapter?
want to discuss. Yeah.
Okay.
So everyone, after David acquires the morph ability, and then I think after he acquires his first morph, they all shake his hand. And why? That seems like a strange detail to include. Mm-hmm. Is that what we're thinking? It's a little...
Do you think they all acquired David?
Yeah. Other way around, I fear.
Because David's just so cool that they all want a David morph,
How would it happen without them knowing?
It is before he acquires the bird, so we can hope that he just doesn't know how to acquire something.
And yet... Here's the thing. What happened earlier in this book when? Why include the detail where Marco acquired the cobra and the cobra didn't go into a trance?
I know.
And David doesn't know about that, so he doesn't know to...
So who did he acquire? Is it Marco?
It could be all of them. It could be all of them. They could have all not gone into a trance. We've already had one morph this book, or one acquiring this book that didn't go into a trance.
You know what? And the more I'm thinking about this is going a little ahead, but there's a little bit of a twist with what Visser 3's master plan is.
That's true.
And do you know who I think?
That's so true.
If it's not Marco, who makes sense because they don't like each other, but I feel like he would go for... We're seeing Jake really have authority in this group.
Yep.
And I feel like he could also do that.
Go for
I think
Jake.
he goes for Jake.
Yeah.
I think it's Jake.
He realizes Jake... They all listen to what Jake says, and he's like, "Well,"
or it's Marco, and he uses it to try and ruin Marco's reputation.
Could be.
Yeah.
He goes up to Chandra and is like, "Remember that thing where I was like, beautiful name for a beautiful girl?" And you were like, "Yeah, you were right. I meant it would be a beautiful name for a beautiful girl, and you don't deserve it." Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He should go for Axe, because Axe has a tail blade that he could cut people's hands off with. So
and apparently
tail whip.
Catch cubes.
Oh,
he There's a cute little moment where Rachel tosses him the cube from what they call a hip pouch, but I'm assuming is a fanny pack. And she tosses him the cube, and he misses it with his hand, but he catches it on the flat side of his tail blade.
It's
very
such a good moment, and it's totally unnecessary, but it's just a little character beat. And I think that, and like the moment you pointed out, Miranda, with the 7-Eleven lighting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why they're passing it off to ghostwriters at this moment. I get they have other series they want to write, but they've leveled up
after this,
so much with their writing and their little character details.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's time to leave. They just walk out the back door.
That's what David Lynch did.
He died.
He died. Yes.
No. He was like, I'm leaving you all.
Goodbye.
Chapter 21.
Let's do it.
Time for David's first morph. You know what? Based on everything we've read so far, I think it's safe to assume that this is going to go really well for David and friends. Marco admits that they normally like this whole becoming an Animorph process to unfold over a longer period of time with journaling and meditation. But the world leaders will be arriving in Redacted City in just 4 days. The Animorphs meet in Cassie's barn to plan the heist. In order to assist this process, Rachel helpfully informs everyone that she acquired key intel for the meeting of the world leaders. I have the brochure, she announces. I downloaded it off the internet.
To clarify, it's a brochure for the Marriott where it's being held. It's not like they're advertising the meeting.
Yeah. No, like... The gang discusses what they know about the event and how they'll infiltrate it, which is all very exciting and yet not exactly relevant for this book, which, spoiler, ends on a cliffhanger.
What?
What matters here is that the gang needs to go on a scouting mission to gather more intel, like fucking always, and so David will need to morph into a golden...
Retriever.
Eagle. David Retriever, because he's just so sweet.
Just a good boy.
Just so sweet. David begins his transformation. The moment that he begins shrinking, he freaks out, asking, "What's happening to me? Me." I did a voice for him which screwed up the grammar of that line. Cassie reassures him, but Marco just makes the whole thing worse with little side comments. Eventually, David completes his morph, just as Cassie warns him about controlling the animal instincts. Too late, David lunges at a tasty-looking red-tailed hawk in the corner. Oh, I know that hawk. It's Tobias.
He's a snack.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of good moments in here about, like, Rachel trying to be very calm during the morph, and then she was like, "Oh my God, that is disgusting." And it's the moment, right, where, like, the creepy finger thing that happened to Marco earlier in the book happens again, where his finger bones get longer before flesh appears to cover it. And he's like, I hope that doesn't happen to him. And then it does. And Rachel's like, ah! It's like, very helpful. Thank you. Like, really helped. And Cassie, I feel like Cassie is a morphing midwife in this book. She's like holding his hand, like, breathe through it. Come on, ride it out. Like,
Morphing midwife is really, really
episode
good.
Title. Thank you, Miranda. We can stop early.
Eddie's just stoked that it's not me because Eddie wishes that they could come up with that. There's stuff I said earlier this episode that will absolutely compete with Morphing Midwife.
Probably, I don't know.
Absolutely.
But I will say...
I'll just make it a versus title, and then we can have the listeners.
Yes, there you go.
Just to go at the beginning, we've talked a lot about the settlement money her family is getting from the collapse of their house after the elephant incident that the insurance thinks was just a freak accident because the house wasn't built right. And I gotta say, printing out color pages of the entire brochure of the Marriott, because they said there were pictures of the pool. Yep. There were like people having fun, and it's like no, they're just spending that money, or that's Dan's credit card paying for the egg.
She just wanted to print off that glossy JPEG, you know?
She did.
Like, she was like, yeah.
It does the description of the heist, what they're going to do, like the mission ahead, does feel like the setup for yet another Hitman level. Like, we're learning where all the pieces are going to be on the board.
Yeah, totally, right. Like, the security is going to be in the hotel, but the targets cameras are going to be in the cottages.
Yeah.
David rightly calls out that, like, hey, if the NSA could bug this, the Yeerks can probably bug it better based on their, like, being able to view things from orbit. And I'm like, bud, hold my hand. Like, if Visser 1 was in charge, you'd probably be 100% right. But that is just not Visser 3's style, all right? We need, like, elaborate schemes and monologuing. He will not miss a chance to show up in person. That's not what's happening, okay? Like, you're not wrong. You're having good thoughts, but you don't know the layout of the war yet. You'll get there. Bud, all right? Just take it easy.
Do you think that because of this whole experience with David, whatever happens, the kids are actually going to sit down and be like, okay, next time we get a new Animorph, here's how we go about it. Here's what we learned from our mistakes. Here's where we go.
Oh my God. The postmortem on this one's going to be insane.
Oh yeah. The exit interview is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Once they fire him from being an Animorph out of a cannon, one can only imagine.
I will say, do we think this whole process was less traumatic than becoming a controller? Net. Do we really think it was better?
Yeah, I actually do. Because the kids are... Our kids are great. They're great. They each have different personalities that complement each other.
Well, they're learning how to be parents.
That's true.
Know, they're no longer just idiot teenagers with the death wish. They're idiot teenage parents.
But you would think after mothering those skunk babies,
exactly what I was thinking.
Be better at this. But I guess there was a natural instinct there.
That is not technically canon. I think.
I'm sorry. They all took turns watching the skunk babies. That is canon.
Yeah.
That is canon, but. Okay,
no, I know what part you're referring to that's not canon, and that's true. That's not canon. That was just, that was Eddie. But they did all take turns taking care of skunk babies.
Yes.
We can pick this fight up in the next episode.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if I will.
Regardless.
Oh my God, stick around to find out if Miranda quits the Animorphs.
But don't you think if my version had been true, they'd be more prepared for what's going on with David,
they'd be talking about that at sleepovers for many a night to come if that
I'm just
happened.
trying to figure out if you're telling me that breastfeeding your children would make you a better CEO. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
I just left it there and we can...
Eddie, your relationship to work is...
impressive.
Next level.
You're really dedicated.
I need to study under you.
Thanks for listening to Anidorks. We'll be back soon with lots more to say. Until the Andalites return, or at least until next time. See you soon!